If you're like me and you clicked on this video, you're definitely a fan of 90s JDM vehicles. Now, Toyota has been teasing that the MR2 or the Celica might be coming back. Well, look at this article because we've kind of caught them red-handed testing the MR2 or what might be the MR2. This is an article from CarScoop and it says Toyota's new MR2 may have just been caught testing for the first time. Phone footage from Japan might be the closest look yet at the car meant to bring the MR2 back. It's going to be an all-wheel drive mid-engine and it's going to have plenty of power. Let's get into it, boys and girls. Remember to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share out the videos. That helps us grow. Let's get into this picture here, ladies and gentlemen. When I look at this picture here, definitely I remember and it brings me back into that 90s MR2 mid-engine turbo vehicle. Now, the MR2 to me was kind of like the Honda RSX, the Acura RSX, excuse me, or the Honda Integra, whatever you might want to call it. Was kind of like that vehicle that was very heavily slept on. But we do see references of a frunk. We do see references that the engine will be in the back. And we still see that 90s MR2 kind of like, styling. Now, whether this is the MR2 or the Celica, we don't know, but obviously it points out to be more than the MR2 than the actual Celica, and I believe it might be on Volks TE's wheels here. Now we do see a wide body wing. We see all these sort of things on it. Maybe that's just made to look, and for people who don't, who are taking pictures. In this case, a gentleman who recorded the vehicle actually on the track, and we're gonna look at that video at the end. It's for people not to notice it. So let's get into the article, and it says a mysterious coupe prototype or test mule was spotted in Japan. It is still unclear whether Toyota will revive the MR2, the Celica, or both. I think, in my opinion, Toyota needs to bring back both. That's just in my opinion. Reports suggest the new GR model will use a mid-engine all-wheel drive layout. Now, look at this. A pair of photos and a short video of the mystery Toyota prototype landed on X, courtesy of Soikuyu, I don't want to murder that, AZ, and went viral fast. The car has a sportier stand, a two-door coupe silhouette with Yaris-sourced headlights and taillights set against deep bumpers, a pronounced splitter, wide fender extension, pretty much what we were talking about. And it says whether this is parts bin mule or an early development prototype is still unclear, though either way it looks cobbled together for existing hardware. Overall proportions are similar to the 2023 Toyota FT-SE concept car, which was believed to be the future MR2. Now, this is the images here. We can see the back. Now, if we look at the back here on this image, you definitely get those MR2 vibes. Now, look, I'm going to be honest with you. If this is it, it's definitely bringing that vintage 90s feel vibes to it. Obviously, it's not going to come from factory with a wide body or this, swan-neck kind of like wing or any of that. Definitely not with the T's. But the post already has like 30,000 likes, 3,632 replies. So it's definitely going viral on X. But this could definitely be it. It says the original Toyota MR2 ran a mid-engine rear-wheel drive layout, but the new car is widely tipped to go mid-engine all-wheel drive with a Torsen limited slip differentials front and rear. The transmission sits at the back, and a prop shaft feeds power forward to the front axles. Engineers have said that in the Yaris testbed, the car can send everything to the rear or route up to half forward. What we still don't know is whether Toyota sticks with an 8-speed automatic only or throws in an option of a manual. And this is the Toyota's new G20E 4-cylinder engine that most likely will be on both vehicles. Now, in my opinion, the new Corolla hatchback, it's a great vehicle, and I think Toyota did a very, very good job on it. Now, does the automotive world need a new MR2 and a Celica? Absolutely, we do. Absolutely, it does. Does it need it to be all-wheel drive turbo? Absolutely, it does. I really think it does. And that's going to bring back the enthusiasts who always loved that car. It says powering the MR2 and or the Celica is Toyota's new G20E, a 2.0-liter turbocharged direct injection 4-cylinder set to replace the 1.6-liter Turbo 3 from the GR Yaris and the GR Corolla. And the 1.6 is a great engine. It makes 300 horsepower. The fact that Toyota was able to squeeze that, absolutely. Toyota says it's engineered. All right, boys, this video is sponsored by CarLock. Let me tell you something. If you're a car guy like me, if you love modding your vehicle and buying those expensive parts, make sure that the first part or that first mod you do to your vehicle is the CarLock real-time GPS system. And I'm going to tell you something right now. You think you're going to take your vehicle somewhere, you're going to park it, you're going to lock the doors and walk away. Well, think again, because around 850,000 vehicles get stolen every year in America. That's about one vehicle every 37 seconds. And the recovery rate is less than 1 out of 3. And with CarLock, you actually get that peace of mind. This is the first mod I have ever done and will ever do to any vehicle I purchase from now on. CarLock has been a sponsor of the channel for quite some time. And let me tell you about some of the benefits that CarLock brings. Tamper and monitoring alerts. If anybody turns on the engine, if anybody moves the vehicle, if anybody opens the windows or opens the door or actually disconnect the system, which is the biggest questions everyone gets. What happens when you disconnect the system? Well, you're going to get a motion and you're going to get an alert like the one you see on the screen here. Now, if you want to find out more info on CarLock, if you want a 14-day trial, if you want a discount, make sure you use my codes JAVIVIBES, and all the links are on the description below. Let's continue. Toyota says it engineered the unit to be both stronger and more compact than the 2.4 liter Turbo 4 already used across its range, targeting around 300 horsepower, 295 feet-pound of torque in regular applications, and climbing to 400 in the hotter version. A racing variant of the same engine is also in the cars, potentially making 600 horsepower. This is the video of the vehicle texting here. Hopefully, Toyota shares more on the expanding GR lineup before long, and maybe hands us a fresh concept while it's at it. Until then, we're left with an accidental sighting of mules and prototypes. Look, a lot of these mules and a lot of these prototypes, yes, it's true. They don't make it into production. Some things do, some things doesn't. Sometimes they make these mules just to test engines. That might be it. But the fact that we've been getting teased for a while about the MR2, the Celica, and now we see this right here, which looks exactly like an MR2. And like I said, don't expect it from factory to come with all this stuff. This is just a testing mule. You can see the roll bars there, the one windshield. It's got the plexiglass. Like, this is a complete test mule. Whether this is just being tested for the engine or not, it's a lot of coincidence that the car looks exactly like an MR2. Let's look at this video real quick. I'll tell you this though, it does sound pretty good. There's always somebody watching. There's always somebody with a phone. That's insane. This is the engine right here, the G20E 4-cylinder. I think if Toyota was able to do greatness with the 1.6, I think with this 2.0 GE, they're going to do amazing stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comments, did we just catch the MR2 testing, or did we catch the Celica, or is this simply just a test mule? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one.